right now because that would have been really bad. I did that the other day too. Okay, Robyn, I am going to turn it over to you.
Well, thank you so much. I'm going to start by saying it's really ironic that I am speaking on the topic of recruiting because, ladies, I flat out sucked at it. I'm sorry. For the 7.5 years that I was in my previous business. That is no lie, which, by the way, I never want you guys to use those terms, but that's what I have to say about my previous experience in direct sales. I'm not proud to admit that I kind of chalked it up to I'm not good at this. I'm not obviously good at building a team. So I chalked it up to it is what it is. And I am sad to admit that I would add consultants to my team just so that I could earn those incentive trips. That became my jam. And that is kind of what I did. That is what my business became to me. And it was great. I loved those years. It was part of my journey. But I just have to say I was not good at adding members to my team. So many things were wrong with my mindset. And I never worked to improve it. I was not coachable. I just chalked it up to I'm not good at that. And I became really cool with that. You guys don't do that. Use this entrepreneur, this model of your Zaya business as personal growth and personal development. Be open to change. Be open to learning. Be open to trying new things. And looking back, honestly, I realized that I didn't truly believe in that business model. I couldn't look at her and say, girl, if you join my team, you could soar. If you put in the time and the work, you could take this to the top. I didn't believe in my heart of hearts that in that business model that was true. So it was really hard for me to add reps. With Zaya, that is a completely different story. And that's where my success comes from now. That's where my passion comes from. I truly can look at my new reps and with all the excitement I have in my bones say, you could do this. You could be at the top. You could make this whatever you want to make it. I believe that with every ounce of my being, and that makes all the difference. So welcome. We're now in week 3 of our Dash to Director program. We're so excited that you're with us. Some of you are new, so maybe you're only into the program for a few days. We're just really glad that you're here, and thank you for taking the time today to listen. A couple housekeeping things. I am going to draw our 1-by-1 winner at the end of this call. So we did a 1-by-1, which was if you added 1 rep and you sold $1,000 from Friday to last Friday, I don't have the dates in front of me, your name went into the drawing to win one of 3 prizes. So I will do that at the end of our call. And then following that, we will have a question and answer. If you don't want to stick around for that, if you have to get going, we completely understand. I'm really going to try to keep this thing moving. The thing is with this call tonight, I could have gone so many different angles. If I were to do this call a week from now, it may look very different. But these are the things that pulled at my heartstrings today. So these are the things that I want to share. So So we're all here with the same goal to rank advance to junior rep, senior rep, and ultimately that goal of director by the end of October, right? So in Zaya, you cannot rank advance to any level without a team. We are all about sharing the opportunity and growing together. So hopefully you all know that in order to hit director, your group value needs to be at $10,000 in 1 month. You also need to have a lifetime personal value of $10,000. And then your level 1 needs to have that $2,000 in that 1 month. So those are big numbers. And so again, you need a team, right? You can't do this alone. You need to ask her. So tonight's call is focused on adding teammates, how to start the recruiting conversation, and ultimately adding business partners to your team. In Zaya and on this team in particular, we talk about growing your team right away. we talk about adding teammates to your team with our new reps. And I know that can be overwhelming, but we believe so strongly in what is happening right now and not waiting. Because if you wait, somebody else is going to ask her, and she's going to be on some other team rising to the top. So we feel really passionate about, even if you're new, you need to start having those conversations right away. Even if you don't have it all figured out, your sponsor will help you through that. There is just no time to sit back and wait. This rocket ship is taking off, you guys, whether you are on it or not. It's going, it's sailing. If I dropped off tomorrow, y'all are still gonna rock this thing, right? So you're already on the ship. You said yes, you jumped in. Now you have to decide which seat you're gonna be on. Are you gonna take a back seat, or are you gonna take a front seat where it's exciting, it's thrilling, it's a little scary, but it's all so worth it? It's going to be uncomfortable. It's going to be, like I said, a little scary. But again, I ask you, do you want to build a team? And I think you do, because that's why you're here. That's why you're taking time out of your evening, time away from your family to build your business. So step one, I'm going to talk about 4 steps tonight. I'm going to try to keep it as basic as I can. So are you giving the right vibes? Because people are watching you. So what messages are you sending out about your business? When you're on your VIP page, what messages are you sending out? Are you open for business, or are you sometimes open for business? Are you showing up, or are you busy doing other things? Are you treating your business like a business that you want it to be, or are you treating it like a hobby job? And you know, and that's up to you, but are your goals matching what the vibes that you're sending off? Are they matching each other? Ask yourself that and really think about that, because people, again, are watching. It's like, you know, going to a new restaurant. At first, everybody's going to try the new restaurant, and they're going to scope it out. So you might have had a hop in business those first 3 weeks of your business, because people are kind of checking things out. They're going to give it a try. They want to support you. But then, you know, that restaurant, you don't know when they're open. You don't know, you know, what's on the menu. The menu is always changing. You can't quite figure it out. Eventually, you kind of wash your hands of it and move on. The same thing goes in your parties. Ladies, your future business parties are in that party. So are you showing up in that party? In my previous business, which was home parties, my hostesses didn't need to know that I had a bad day. They didn't need to know that I ran into a dumpster with my brand new car that I had gotten the day before. True story. They don't need to know that. I show up. I treated my business like the job that it was, whether I was feeling it or not. And in Zaya, we're super lucky. We don't have to go away from our families, drive in the car half an hour, go to a party in the freezing cold temperatures, bring your product in. We have to sneak into our bedroom or our bathroom and go live in a cute pair of leggings. So we really are pretty dang fortunate, you guys. I know you don't want to go live every night. Trust me, I know, because that's me. But your hostess, like Christy said last week on her Connect page call, your hostess deserves your attention. Give her your time that week. If you went live every single day last week in your party, do that in your party this week, because she deserves the same. And also, as far as giving off that vibe, smile in your lives. I mean, I have times in my lives where I feel very flat, and my brain has to tell me, like, smile. And it makes all the difference in the world. It's like that dancer on stage, the one who doesn't know what she's doing, but you're watching her because her smile is so big and bright. Even though the next girl next to her has all the moves down, she knows all her stuff, but she's not smiling. Who are you paying attention to? You're paying attention to the girl that's giving off that vibe. So that was step one, giving off those vibes, okay? That's super important because, again, ladies, they're watching you. Step 2 is shifting your mindset. So recruiting is the yucky thing that we kind of feel like we're going to vomit when we talk about it. It's easy to say, oh, I'm not good at that. I'm not going to be able to grow a business. Like I said at the start of this, I suck at that. That is because you are making it about you. When you view recruiting, and I don't even like the word recruiting, but I'm going to use it. When you view recruiting as what it will do for you, and you're using phrases such as, I just need to get one more. If I could just get one more, I'll earn that trip. I just wanted to add one more to get that 3x4. You're not treating her like a human. It's not getting one more. It's adding a business partner. And when you shift it to, again, what this can do for you, it's not as yucky. But if you don't switch it, it definitely will feel yucky and it will never get easier. So instead, focus on what this business can do for her. This will take some reflecting on your part, and it's also going to take some research. Know what Zaya has to offer. Know what Aaron Bradley is about. Know what this company stands for. Do your homework. And so you can be able to speak on this company and what this is and the growth that is happening and the changes that are happening in this company. Know all of that just as well as you know how great those light and tights fit. If you want to grow a business, you need to know that side of things as well. Do you have to know the specifics? No, but I'm just saying, immerse yourself in what this is because it truly is something amazing. And that's going to help you. That's going to help you build that excitement. And then also reflecting on what Zaya has done for you. Has it helped you grow personally? Has it provided a community of women that you didn't have before? Is it financially rewarding? What has it done for you? Really reflect on that. And if you're brand new, you may not have those pieces yet. So in those cases, use other people's stories. Listen to team trainings, and when people tell what Zaya has done for them, use those people's stories. It doesn't always have to be your story. It can be somebody else's story. And that is going to fuel your desire to want to share. It's going to fuel you, and it's going to be easier to have those conversations because I know personally what Zaya has done for me, and that makes me want to share it with everybody. I do not want to keep this to myself. I want this for you as much as I want it for myself. So number 3, start the conversation. So in our Dash to Director program, if you go to the Wix document, there is a document that is full of recruiting conversations, booking conversations. Definitely feel free to print that out and use it kind of as a source or a resource for you. So start the conversation. Here's the thing, you guys. You are selling what everybody is wearing. It is no secret that we are all a part of something really big here. Not just, but really spreading worldwide. My husband and I woke up on Sunday morning. I think it was CBS News Story, top story. It was, again, this isn't the first time. The story was about athletic wear, leisure wear, booming in the United States. Everybody is looking for versatile pieces that they can wear out and about, wear when they're working at home, go to the things they want to go to, and they're not dressing up. Lululemon was highlighted in the story. It was probably like a 8-minute segment, and my husband's looking at me like, yeah, you're definitely in the right business. And he's like, this is huge, and it is huge. So we're really selling the hottest thing right now, along with toilet paper, freezers, and RVs, but I'd rather be selling leggings. I'm not going to go into who to start the conversation with because we really should be asking anyone and everyone, especially if it feels natural to do so. So who loves Zaya? Who's active on your VIP page? Who shares pictures of herself on your page? Who is a positive, optimistic person that you love to be around? Your hostesses. Those are natural people that we are going to have the conversation with. And I'm just going to do a side note here. Do not prejudge. I did way too much of that in my previous business. You do not know her financial state. You do not know um, if she, I mean, everybody could use more funds. Everybody could use a community. Just please, please do not judge. Okay, so back to that starting the conversation. What does it look like? My biggest thing is get to the point. I cannot stand when you want something from me and you go on and acting like you care about my life, my kids, and what I am up to these days. Please, please just start in with, hey, I'm so glad you are loving your Zaya. Have you ever thought about repping the line? Can I send you some more information? That's so much better than a paragraph all about things that she really doesn't care about. Compliment her, of course, would be a good thing to add in there as well, but really just get to the point. So again, in a natural situation where there's somebody who is loving their Zaya, I'm so glad you love your Zaya. Have you ever thought about repping the line? Can I send you some information? It is that is truly something I use time and time again. It is as simple as that. So I'm going to go into step 4, which is the biggest step. This is my biggest aha since I have found Zaya. Helping her decide if this is right for her. So step 4, helping her decide if this is right for her. This is where the apples come in. And my team, you may have heard about this before. You may have heard me talk about this before. And if you went to our retreat in September, I actually showed this video clip. But over a year ago, I came across a call that Double Zaya executive Blair Sells did. And it is the best analogy I have ever come across and one that I refer to all the time. Red apples, green apples, and rotten apples. This is how we're looking at our future business partners, okay? The red apples, well, let's start with the rotten ones and get rid of them. The rotten apples are your Aunt Matilda, who says, oh my gosh, direct sales? I would never buy from a direct sales consultant. She's a rotten apple. You're not going to go any further. What's done is done, and let it go. Your red apples are the ones that like, oh my gosh, yes. Like, how do I sign up? What do I click? Like, she's ready to go. She's an automatic, and there's that. Raise your hand if you were a red apple. Is there anybody out there? Yeah, I see some. There's not as many red apples as there are green apples. Green apples are where we focus. I have learned so much from this, you guys. So those are, when she comes back with a likely message that maybe sounds something like, I've thought about it, but here they go. I'm too busy. I could never sell. I don't know that many people. I'm not good with social media. I've tried something like this before. You don't have to write those down, but those are the things that the green apples typically say. Those are her obstacles. So the old Robyn, 125% would have said, okay, thank you, I totally get it, smiley face. I do not do that anymore, you guys. Oh, I did that so many times. I do not do that anymore. It's like, I was trying to think of an analogy. It's kind of like playing hard to get with a cute guy. And he finally says like, hey, you should go on a date. And you're like, you know, you kind of throw him away a little bit like, oh, I don't know. And then he really goes away and you're like, well, wait a minute, I really do like you. I was playing hard to get. So this is where you're going to help. I don't know if that's a good analogy or not, but this is where you are going to help her or him problem solve. You're going to help her realize that, yes, she can do this. Really listen to her and really help her navigate through these obstacles, these doubts in her head. Think about what's likely going on behind the scenes, because when she's navigating through this, like I was when I jumped into Zaya, behind the scenes at home, her husband's maybe saying, like, oh my gosh, you've done something like this before. Or her sister's rolling her eyes because she's a Lululemon fanatic. Or her best friend wants nothing to do with Zaya because everybody in town is selling Zaya. So you have all of that going on. You have to help her get there and really get to the grit as if she really wants to do this or not. Could she say no in the end? Absolutely. But there's a reason you asked her. And if you can help her navigate through some of that, she just might be a yes. And this really could be something that changes her life. So, when talking with her, is there anything you can relate to with her? When she says, um, I don't think I'm good at selling, is that you? You could say, yes, I was the same way. Like, oh my gosh, when I first started direct sales, I truly, I did not know what I was doing. I was embarrassed to be doing direct sales. So if you can relate to her, relate to her. If you can't, don't pretend. If she says, I'm not good with social media, I could never do this, and you're a social media rock star, don't say, oh my gosh, girl, I know, I don't even know how to post on Facebook. Don't do that. Don't lie. But use somebody else's story. Use somebody else on your team that struggles with social media, and tell her that how she got through that and where she's at today as I look at somebody on this team that is on here. And um, this is where I love to use voice messenger or voice text. So maybe you've sent her some general information, a little bit about commissions, a little bit about what you need to do in order to stay active and all of those things. But after I send that, I just want to talk with her, and we don't pick up the phone often enough. So if we are on Facebook Messenger, I'll use that messenger and I'll just talk with her. First of all, it's easier for me. I prefer it. Um, and I'll say something, I'll talk about like the business model. This is something I always say. Like, what girl doesn't want to own her own online boutique? I mean, right? And you don't have to worry about inventory, and you don't have to worry about shipping, and it's all online. I might talk about how this business model is genius. It's super easy to duplicate. There are no catalogs, there are no flyers. Some of you have heard me say this so many times, but it's so true. It is such an easy model to duplicate, and she can do this. I talk about New Release Wednesday and how that is a genius business model as well. Every single Wednesday, we are putting new pieces into our shops, which makes people come back every single week. I talk about Post My Party. Now, this may sound like I'm vomiting Zaya. Again, this is a natural conversation. But if she's worried about time, I want to talk about Post My Party. If she has a full-time job, I want to talk about how she can post those new releases when it's convenient for her. She doesn't have to do it at noon. I just want to talk through some of those things. And for me, voice messenger is the way to do it. If that concerns you, if that makes you nervous, did you guys know that you can message yourself? So message yourself. How would you do that? Or do a mod? I don't know. I didn't think that through. I use myself not be over. I message myself on Facebook, but you could practice somewhere if you're not super comfortable with that yet. So to recap, number one, we're going to give off the right vibes. Own what you're doing. Be proud of what you're doing. If she sees that you are skeptical about what you are doing and that you're doing this just as a hobby, she may not want to be a business partner with you. She may choose somebody else. Shift your mindset is number two. Focus on what Zaya could do for her, not on what she could do for you by joining your business. Number three, start the conversation. Put that bug in her ear. It is so important to put that bug in her ear. Once you do so, she is going to really start paying attention. And number four, help her come to that decision. Again, those red, rotten, green apples. Quick story, and something that continues to stay with me. There are several of you on this team who I really had a strong gut feeling that you needed to join us. I may be looking at some of your faces right now. So this conversation, these green apples, these conversations happened. And in the end, a couple in particular really recently came back after days of thinking, talking with their husband, doing the things, and they said no. And my gut, when your gut is, your feeling is so strong, you know she wants in it. It's not pushy, but I really felt it. And I had to message her back and I had to say, I really feel strongly that you should do this. Really dig deep in your heart, because if you are thinking about this, I think you should go for it. What do you have to lose? So if there is that tug, maybe just go one step further, because two girls I'm looking at right here just did that, and I am so thankful that they're on this team. So I'm going to wrap up by giving you a 1-minute blip on what to do once she says yes and enrolls. I am not going to tell you to go to this document or that document necessarily. There are lots of ways to jumpstart new reps. But what I want to say is make her your number one focus. In the beginning, you got to put in the time with her. You can't just add her to your team and be annoyed when she asks questions. You guys, you have to, like, that's going to be your priority. Just like your parties are your priority. When you have a new rep, boom, that's your priority. For the next couple of weeks, you are going to help her. You're going to be there for her. You're going to meet with her. You're going to answer her questions. Connect with her on Zoom. Help her earn that $295 back. Get it back in her pocket. Help her visualize her goals. When we start, we don't know what our goals are. We don't know that by selling this amount of money and adding this rep, we're going to rank advanced. So set those sights in front of her. There are resources, there are systems, yes, but spend time helping her. Do not complicate it. Do not just tag her in every new rep post there is. Just think about what you needed when you joined as a rep, maybe what you didn't get when you were a new rep. And sit down with those thoughts and think, okay, how am I going to best help her? Make her a priority. Okay, so that is all I have as far as recruiting goes. If you have questions, we will get to those after I draw our Dash to Director 1-by-1 incentive winners. Okay, so if again, you sold $1,000 and you added one rep from Friday such and such to last Friday, I don't know the dates, your name is in here, okay? So I'm gonna mix it up. I don't have my 6-year-old here to draw a name, but I'll do it myself. Okay, so for the first drawing, we are going to draw for a pair of custom Nikes. Raise your hand if you've already earned some custom Nikes from Zaya or maybe from your leader or something like that. Raise your hand if you don't care if you've already won custom Nikes and you'd like to win another pair of custom Nikes, right? Okay. Okay, here we go. I'm nervous. Brittany Hansley, are you on? If you are, use the chat. Let us know you're on. Brittany Hansley, congratulations. You won some custom Nikes. You guys, that's a huge feat. $1,000 and one rep in 1 week is awesome. Remember, our goal is always 3x4 for the month. Zaya put that out there because it's so important and it will lead to great success. But again, all of you, great, great job. Hi, Brittany. She says, yes, I'm here. Yay, I'm so excited. Okay, the next one is $25 Zaya Cash in your back office to shop tomorrow. And that winner is Christine Elizabeth. So congratulations, Christine. $25. We will get that to you as soon as possible. We're going to draw one more winner for $25 Zaya Cash. And that winner is Ashley Salis. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Salis. Congratulations, Ashley. So again, ladies, thank you for joining me tonight. Congrats on being here. Congrats on reaching your goals. Go and find your next business builder because she's waiting for you to ask her. She is.
Awesome. Oh my gosh. Okay. So everybody's awesome. Congrats on the winners, Robyn. That was so good. So I was taking notes. I love all these calls, especially when I can jot down notes, because I feel like I say this every time. I feel like every single time I get on a call, it doesn't even matter. Even if it's a call where I'm training a new rep, I feel like I always learn something, always. So good. I love the green apple, red apple, rotten apple, because I feel like never leave the green apples. Like, make them turn into a red, help them turn into a red apple. I love it so much. It was perfect. So I know that there was a question up here in the thread that I was going to go back to you for, Robyn. So we had a question that someone just had someone tell them no because of the $15 back office fee, and they're wondering how you combat that. Because they're basically saying that they've never had that with any other company to have a minimum, and how would you handle if they don't want to pay the $15 a month?
How would I answer that?
Yeah.
I would say that is your only business expense. So basically, you are opening up your own business for the starter cost. And then following that, that is truly your own only business expense. So in other direct sales company, the one I was a part of and many others, there are, again, catalogs, flyers, specials, changing inventory that you have to spend money on. So, and then on top of that, Zaya gives you that opportunity to not pay that. It's waived your first 2 months, and it's waived any month that you sell $600. So I would tell her, let's make that your goal. You know what I mean?
Yep. Perfect. Yeah. And yeah, and you could give examples too that, like I always say too, that right when I first started, that was my goal. Like I had put in what I was going to put into the business, and I didn't want to have to pay anything else in. So that was my first goal. I'm going to earn what it takes so that I don't have to put another penny back into this business. And I haven't had to pay that fee ever. And so I feel like if you can use examples too of, how other reps have not had to pay it, or it can be just one party, that sort of thing. Is there somewhere we can see the history and background of Zaya? You said to know the other side of Zaya besides the fit of the leggings.
Well, so I just listen to a lot of things. Sam Higginson's calls are kind of directed towards new reps. And in those, he is always sharing inside information. He's sharing information that is current, that is going on behind the scenes. So that is always good. And Jackie says here in company files, scroll down to the bottom and you'll find Zaya's story. And so those are, and then I think if you just Google Zaya, that's what I did when I joined, and I found some great information as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and actually, too, when I first started, I remember I just Googled Erin Bradley, and she's been interviewed. And so and if you go to YouTube and you type in Erin Bradley interview, any company that's interviewed her, such as magazines or radio stations, those are all YouTubed there. And I would listen to some of those, and like she shares her story of why she started Zaya, and the day she was walking and saw the moon, and the reason behind, and kind of the background of her family being in direct sales. And so she knew she had the experience to start the company. So those sorts of things. So sometimes you just have to search for it. But again, if you just type in Erin Bradley interview, a lot of stuff will pop up.
And take part in Summit, because I guarantee you're going to get so much out of Summit in that respect, as far as what this company is, means, and the heart of it all. I think it's important to show up for Summit.
Yep. Okay, another one. Do you suggest any apps for scheduled posting on Facebook and Instagram? How does that work with new releases and not knowing when restocks happen?
Go ahead, Megan.
Okay, so I always recommend the posting app of Post My Party, because that's what I particularly use. So that's always my go-to. But there's other posting apps out there, such as SendShare. I know there's several reps that use SendShare as well. If you go to the marketing Zaya page, you can find all sorts of reps that are using Post My Party, all sorts of reps that are using SendShare. I know there's scheduling apps for Instagram. If you go into your app store and type in scheduling apps for Instagram, lots pop up. I don't particularly use parties on Instagram, so I can't direct you to a specific one, but there are apps out there. As far as the restocks and new releases, we don't schedule those. Those would be something that would be posted as an extra post. Now, I do know, example, like I have reps that are going back to teach, and so they can't always get away to post the new releases right when they happen. If that's a case where you know you're not going to be able to post it for a while, check with your upline or check someone on your team and say, hey, I'm going to be in a meeting for the next 4 hours, or I can't be on my phone at all today. Would you help me out and post the new releases to my page? I know that we've done that reps have done that for each other. But as far as new releases and restocks, we don't schedule those. It would just be the regular post as far as staple piece items. And then anything else that you want to happen in your party.
Okay, Jackie's asking, when someone is asking the question about being a rep and then the conversation goes crickets, how do you handle that? I would give her a few days and then I would follow up. Have you given this any more thought? Another way to handle that is Zaya changes the starter kit often. So that is a great opportunity to reach back out. It's kind of like a super easy opportunity to reach back out to her and say, hey, the starter kit changed. What do you think about this one? What are your thoughts about jumping on board? And that's all you can do. I mean, we can't control if she truly doesn't respond. Maybe another time the kit changes, you could do another outreach, and then after that, follow up with, if you want me to stop sending the starter kit options, let me know. And let her take the wheel there.
How about the cost of the kit as an objection? Like if they don't want to pay for the starter kit?
I just look at it as, again, this is for $295. You're getting all these pieces and the $100 to start your own business. That's kind of unheard of. A lot of other businesses, the startup cost is a lot higher. And then I really talked to her about, we'll get that back. Let's book some parties. If she's not comfortable jumping on board because of that first initial startup cost, maybe have her try to book a couple parties before she actually hits that enroll button. And then she's going to feel a little bit of that safety net, and she's going to feel more comfortable jumping in.
Yeah. And one other thing sometimes I do, if it's someone that's very, very concerned about that, I will say, like Robyn said, I'll say, let's make it a point to get your starter kit back. Let's get the parties booked. I will help you with these first few parties to earn that starter kit back. Do not wear your pieces out of your starter kit at all. Do not take the tags off. And if you do not earn that starter kit cost back, you can return your starter kit within 90 days. They have 90 days. So between that 90 days, if they're booking parties, they're going to be able to most likely, I'm 90%, 95% sure of this, within the first month, if they book parties, they can make that starter kit cost back. So you're going to show them right away. But if that's a huge concern, that's what I'll sometimes say is because once you can get them going and they see they're making a paycheck and they see how easy it is and how fun it is and the momentum's going, they're going to be like, okay, I got this. So just tell them, you have your starter kit so you can see what's in it. You can show it on your parties. Just don't put it on, because they cannot return that starter kit if it's worn at all or if there's any tags missing or anything. So, and they would have 90 days for that. So sometimes I will do that if that's a huge issue. Where do we find the past Sam Higginson calls? If you go to company files under new rep training, that's where all the Sam calls are. I think there's confusion there because there is a file named Sam Higginson. Those are old calls. Now that he's doing these new rep training calls, they're in company files under new rep training. I think it's new rep calls or new rep training.
Sue asked, do you know if there are fewer Facebook jail instances with one of the third-party apps over the others? So Sue, I will tell you, when we first started doing Zaya, and you guys have heard me say this before maybe, but we were put in Facebook jail all the time. We could not run our businesses. There was a point where I was going to throw in the towel and quit. It was horrible. And we could not figure out what it was. This group would say, well, it's because you guys are using Post My Party. And then this group would say, well, it's because you guys are using Cinch Share. And this one would say, well, I'm not using anything. And we couldn't for the life of us figure it out. So no, I don't think the third-party apps are causing Facebook troubles. I think it's robotic posting, maybe too much of the same thing. I think when you are a new rep and you go from not posting a lot on Facebook to all of a sudden running a party with 7 or 8 posts a day, they see that as weird and they may pick up on that. And so you may have some trouble with Facebook at the beginning where you're having to change your password and things like that. But I think it will subside eventually. That's what we're seeing anyway. But just try not to panic. Trust me, there was a week where I lost my whole Facebook page. Megan, do you remember that? Oh my God.
Yeah, it was not a very good week.
So I don't feel like they're doing that necessarily, like they were, knock on some major wood.
Yeah.
But some things that we tend to do is we invite our husbands into our parties and make them admins. Invite maybe your sister or a best friend into the party and make her an admin. Invite your sponsor into the party. That way, if something happens and you are put in jail and you can't comment or interact, you still have that safety net there.
Yeah. Yep.
And try to just roll with it. I know it feels like the rug got pulled out from under you. You can't run your parties, but just do the best you can with the circumstances that they give you.
Yeah. And I think in the beginning, we all were using the exact, like Robyn said, we were using the exact, like we all sent the same template out. We were like not changing it at all because we didn't know. And so I think that was a lot of the problem, was that we all were using almost the exact same things. I always add my husband. I have a rep that always adds me. I have reps that will add their hostess as an admin. There's other ways you can do it, but I would always make sure you've added someone else as an admin in case you were to get kicked out, where you could use them to post then. Like I always then use Brian because I add him to all my parties, and if I get kicked out, I just log in as Brian. So you can do that, or a friend or somebody else. Oh yeah, that's a good point. Steph Neary brought up how if someone is talking about how they can't afford the starter kit, obviously we always want to tell them first, if they haven't hosted a party, if they host a party, they can use their hostess credits towards the starter kit. Absolutely. And it can be somebody that's already had a party and they want to have another party. They absolutely can do that and have another party and use those credits. It doesn't matter.
How long are your live videos in your parties? And thank you, Olivia. She posted a YouTube video that Aaron Bradley talks about the 4 pillars. So if you guys want to copy and paste that somewhere to keep it, I don't know if I've seen that one. So thank you. My live videos in my parties, I'm pretty concrete in doing one on one of the first nights on the differences between our 4 main leggings. The next night, I'm pretty spot on with doing the differences in some of our joggers and everywhere pants. Besides those 2, it's pretty random. I might just go live showing an outfit. I might pop on live to show some restocks that restock that day. But those 2, I'm pretty, but that's just me personally. I try to do at least those 2, maybe one on sports bras as well.
Yeah.
As far as how long they are, those 2 are at least 5 minutes. My other ones are usually shorter than that.
Let's see what else. Oh, do you talk about the rep opportunity then in your videos, your lives?
Yes, I do. So when I do my first intro, I might mention what I do, how long I've been doing it, how much I love it. Absolutely. And if I see that it's a group that, for example, I was just partying in Pennsylvania and this group had just never heard of it. And they're loving this stuff. And they're like, what is this? And then that person's booking a party from that person. And so, yeah, definitely. I'm like, girls, I want somebody over there to join us because you guys are going to just blow up. And so we did have a rep from Pennsylvania join us this week. So yeah, especially when you see that that opportunity is there, for sure, talk about the opportunity.
And do you feel a difference if you go live versus a saved video, like a recorded video?
I don't do recorded videos, and my reasoning is because I do post my party, and my posts are scheduled. So I feel a little bit robotic in my parties because of that. So because I have time, going live is my way to bring that personality into the party and show my face. I don't think there is one right way to do it by any means. You all are doing amazing things in your businesses, and you're doing it differently. Um, and part of it for me is the fact that I don't have my videos saved. I don't have them downloaded on YouTube. And when I try to upload them from my farmhouse where we live, they don't upload. Like, it takes forever. So I have my own reasons for the reasons why I go live in my parties. That's just another one of my reasons.
Awesome. I was going to comment before Tammy had made a good point. We did have a call with Aaron Bradley with our whole Connect team that is recorded and on our Connect page. So that's a really good one that you all can listen to about the story of Zaya. And she shared that in her call with us. I totally didn't forget about the call, but I forgot that she had shared that whole part about why, kind of the history and background of Zaya. So thank you, Tammy, for reminding me.
Yes, Olivia, that's a Keurig in my office. My mama got me that when I don't know, when I started Zaya, I think so.
Awesome. Anybody else have any questions? Tip for uploading YouTube videos to post my part. You can shorten your video. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Jackie. She's saying that you can shorten your video links for Post My Party.
Yeah, so Jackie uses uploaded videos in her parties, and they're very clean cut, very well done. Definitely a great option. Like I said, you guys can do what works for you. Try different things. I mean, that's the beauty of this too. Like, I am constantly just trying different things, partly because I'm bored and I want to try something new, and partly because sometimes when you know better, you do better. So when something's not working for me, I have to just try something else.
Yeah, I like to do a mixture. I like to go live and post video and have a few product videos. I think it's important to go live in your parties so that they are seeing you and hearing you and your energy and your excitement and that sort of thing. Because I feel like if it's a recorded video, you can't always hear the excitement because you're like re-record, you know, how we all, one take isn't gonna usually do it. And going live brings that personality out, I feel like, more. But yeah, so I usually try to do a combination. Yeah, absolutely.
It's just kind of like the words in my, like, mommy's going live. Like, it's just like a common part of our evening.
Yeah, I'm like, be quiet, guys. I'm going live.
They know when the door is shut, they're not supposed to come in. Mm-hmm. But yeah, it's just part of our nightly routine.
Yeah. Awesome. Anybody else have any questions for Robyn? Robyn, thank you. Seriously, so good. Lots of good little nuggets and perfect for, I feel like, this Dash to Director. So I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded after we are off. And I'll try to get it emailed out tonight. If the email doesn't go out tonight, just remind your reps that I'll get it sent out tomorrow morning. It just depends on how long it takes to upload. Sometimes it takes longer. And I can't do it right away, but I will definitely try. So,
congratulations, Brittany, Ashley, and Christine.
Yay. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have an awesome night. Oh, really quick. Next Dash to Director call. I wanted to remind you guys of the date. The next call will be September 1st, which is a Tuesday. It's Tuesday, September 1st, which will be my sister Jamie. So join us then, and we'll get you guys information prior. So everybody have a good night. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.